Hello everyone, welcome back to Fighters channel. Anthony Joshua's return, a questionable rehabilitation. Many people doubt whether Anthony Joshua is truly back to top form after defeating 4 sub-level heavyweights. To rebuild mentally, the former two-time heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua is coming off a 4-fight winning streak, heading into a title challenge against IBF champ Daniel Dubois on September 21st at Wembley Stadium in London. We don't know if Joshua can get into the trenches with a young, apex predator like Dubois without mentally crumbling and suffering flashbacks or the traumatic events from his 2 defeats against undisputed champ now. Dubois could trigger those memories inside Joshua once he begins landing his heavy shots on him in front of what could be a record-breaking crowd of 100,000 fans at Wembley Stadium on night fight. I don't go with the camp that says Anthony Joshua is fully rehabilitated because ultimately he's fought fighters that really didn't hit him back, said Simon Jordan to Talk Sport Boxing, talking about Anthony Joshua still not having proven that he's come back from his 2 losses due to the 4 sub-level opponents he is faced since then, to say that Joshua is truly rehabilitated after beating this gang of 4: Franz Ngannou, Otto Wallin, Robert Helenius, Jermaine Franklin. For Joshua to be fully back to where he was when his promoter rolled off the showroom floor in 2013, he would need to beat these heavyweights: Martin Bakkerley, Daniel Dubois, Jory Anderson, Agit Kabayel, Tyson Fury. Jermaine Franklin had a little go, but ultimately Helenius got knocked out without landing a glove on him. Wallin was nowhere near him, and Ngannou was done with what should have been done with Tyson Fury, said Simon Jordan. Half of those fights should have never happened. Robert Helenius had recently been knocked out. Ngannou had lost his last fight. Wallin looked in good shape, and Franklin was coming off a defeat against Dillian Whyte. I think if Daniel Dubois beat him, and I said the other day, and the snake didn't like it, that he gets big stress because he will take him back to the space where the question is Anthony Joshua hasn't wanted to go deep in the trenches, said Simon Jordan. If Daniel Dubois takes Joshua into the trenches, the chances are high that he will mentally and physically fall apart and get taken out. This could be really bad for Joshua, who would be going into his match against Fury off the back of a loss. There is a distinct possibility that Daniel Dubois is going to drag him in there, and if he does, it's going to be a fascinating fight because he has the power, Simon said. We were writing about this fighter 3 or 4 years ago. Forget Joshua, forget Tyson. Daniel Dubois is the one to watch. Joshua is too old and has too much wear on him to handle getting dragged into a real fight with Daniel Dubois, Jordan said. Joshua will be fine if it's a short fight where he scores a knockout, but he will be in trouble if it goes past 6 rounds and he has to take heavy shots. Then we've seen the challenges happen. I expected him to beat Jarrell Miller, yes, Simon Jordan said when asked if he with Daniel Dubois as a top-tier heavyweight. I'm not sure he wins this fight, but there is a real good chance he might. Frank Warren expects Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois to break a Tyson Fury record. Frank Warren anticipates that Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois will break the British boxing attendance record. The 90,000-seat capacity of the iconic Wembley Stadium had to be increased to a record-breaking 94,000 for Tyson Fury's all-British showdown with Dillian Whyte last year. But the Queensberry Promotions chief expected Joshua and Dubois' IBF heavyweight title fight on September 21st will surpass that figure. "Oh, it's massive," he told on Tuesday. "Like we did last time when Tyson Fury fought against Dillian Whyte, and I think we've got it. I think we will probably break that record. So it's a really good fight." Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn recently suggested that Joshua vs. Dubois could sell 100,000 tickets at the home of English football. 19,000 were in attendance for AJ's unification clash in 2017, while 80,000 turned up for his battle with Alexander Povetkin a year later, although the Dubois doesn't have the same name. Especially when it comes to a fight where either man can knock the other out. A lot of people are making AJ a favorite, and they are saying AJ is a big puncher, and so forth, and I hope he comes out and comes to fight, because if he lets those big punches go, I know that will leave him exposed. Warren added. If Daniel clips him, it will knock him out. I think Daniel is the bigger puncher. Daniel, myself and Don Charles have spoken about this a fair bit, and we think it's a battle of the jabs, and I think whoever is throwing those jabs and feeling comfortable will set up the big shots and let them go. But I genuinely think that Daniel can win this. He is a young man, he is far better position in his last 3 fights than AJ has, Warren said. And by the way, AJ has looked good in his last few fights, but not against as good opposition as what Daniel has been in with. Daniel dealt with them, and he has stopped them and come through a couple of moments in the fights where he was getting caught, certainly in the early stage of the Hargovich fight. But he did a job on him. Carol Froch adds a fuel to fire of Anthony Joshua with a big claim and says that Dubois' fight could be his last. Carol Froch added more fuel to his Anthony Joshua feud by making some huge claims. Froch and AJ were once good friends and former training partners. By recent years, the relationship has turned sour with the pair training. Froch, by far the more vocal of the pair, has continued to take aim at Joshua and his career. It has not gone down well with Froch, who once again took a swipe at Joshua by begging a prime Frank Bruno to beat him in a fantasy fight. I'm sorry, but he just does. It's just all about timing, and you can't hold that Anthony Joshua against. I know they call it heavyweight, but it's very thin now. The landscape of heavyweight boxing, it's not what it used to be. I think if Anthony Joshua loses to Daniel Dubois, it could be the last we see of him. The rivalry hits new heights when Froch shared apparent private messages. But Froch claimed that there was far more said in actuality, but that was kept back from the public. He said, "I've shared 10% of the messages. I mean, I've kept 90% of what he said away. He's messaged me again over the night and deleted 4 of the messages," Carol Froch said. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.